Hello, everybody. This is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor here at the 2022 IADC Advanced Rig Technology Conference in Austin, Texas. With me right now is Stu Ross, Manager of Drilling Performance at Precision Drilling. Mr. Ross gave a presentation on Precision Drilling's efforts at real-time greenhouse gas emissions inventory monitoring and some of the solutions that the company is taking to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Stu, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
So, let's talk about greenhouse gas emissions. One thing that you had mentioned in your presentation was about leveraging data to sort of optimize power consumption and reduce emissions through that. Could you go through that a little bit for us?
Sure, absolutely. So a big part of driving emissions reduction is really understanding what are we currently doing. So how much power are we producing? How much fuel are we consuming to produce that power? And then what are the associated emissions? So traditional approaches and the way we've accounted for fuel consumption in the past and power usage has been at a very high level, not a lot of detail. So at Precision Drilling, what we're doing is we're capturing by second data from power usage, fuel usage, and then from there we can derive emissions. Now we're also tying this into what is the rig doing during these different cycles? Is it drilling? Is it tripping? Is it just circulating conditioning? Or is all the BHA at surface and we're simply doing some kind of flat time operation? So without all of this data, we really don't have a good understanding of what's driving power consumption, fuel consumption, and subsequent emissions. Now, with the data and an understanding of what is driving our consumption, now we can apply methodology such as our hybrid energy management system to reduce. Because we have to be able to measure where we are and then measure after the implementation of a solution how much improvement we've seen. So that's where the data comes from. It's very data intensive, it's very time intensive if you don't have a good structure in place to capture, transmit, and record this data, as well as to report on it.
So one of the things that you're seeing a lot in industry now is the use of battery energy storage systems, and Precision Drilling is no different. You discussed your use of battery energy storage in the presentation here at the conference. Could you talk a little bit about sort of the results that you've seen from using battery energy storage in the field? Like what kind of impact has this had on emissions reductions for Precision Drilling?
Yes, absolutely. So our results to date, we're seeing anywhere, if you look at an entire well, so the energy and power and fuel used to drill an entire well, we're seeing about a 20% reduction in the amount of diesel fuel being used. Now keep in mind, on the systems we're using a diesel natural gas blend. So our goal here is to displace diesel fuel with natural gas. And that's where we're getting this reduction in diesel fuel usage, about 20% on a well basis. At times in very specific operations, we're seeing more than 30% within the well construction process. Now when we translate that over to a greenhouse gas reduction, the 20% diesel fuel savings results in about approximately 12-13% reduction in greenhouse gas.
So battery energy storage is just one tool in the toolbox for Precision Drilling. You talked about a whole lot of other things, and I guess I want to get a little bit into that. What are some of the, I guess I don't want to say next steps, but what are some of the other areas that Precision Drilling is looking at to try to bolster the low carbon portfolio?
Yes, absolutely. So the hybrid energy management system, the battery, that's a near term. That's right now. This is something that we can do immediately. We're doing it now, and we're seeing the results. Down the road, we're investigating and doing work on hydrogen injection, again, to improve the combustion process. So again, this is still taking a fuel supply and burning it, but improving the efficiency of that process and subsequently the emissions profile of that. And the other steps where a lot in industry are going is hydrogen fuel cells. So we're actively engaged in ongoing projects in that space. It's just the delivery time frame and the amount of work to be done is a little longer time-wise.
Well, Stu, thanks again for taking the time to speak with us. Low carbon solutions, this is what everybody's talking about in the industry right now. And it's been fascinating to hear what Precision Drilling is doing to kind of bolster its own portfolio in this area. So thanks again.
You're quite welcome.
And thank you for visiting Drilling Contractor.